We're here, Anna and I are here. I'm in a bouncy mood. I don't know why, because we're going to talk about the education equivalent of Voldemort. That which shall not be named. I was literally thinking that, Anna, when I was making my cup of tea. And we literally treat it like Voldemort in Harry Potter. It's like, don't say the name and it
Do
won't
say
happen.
it. Do say it, just
Shall I
so
say
everyone knows what we're
what
talking
we're
about.
talking about? I think I want to know how many of our audience might have guessed already. Educational Voldemort, what is it?
The
Ofsted.
O word.
Ofsted. Now, to be before me and you get into our personal feelings and how it made us feel, I met with a wonderful lady called Sue Morris King earlier this week, who was really lovely and really sweet and said, "There's nothing to worry about. Ofsted's coming so. We're really supportive. We're there to help. And if you're doing everything that's in the statutory and non-statutory landscape, you're fine." And I'm just sat there going, yeah, I'm
Doesn't help how
so
we feel.
no. I went and because we talked about somebody on the call, I won't say who, used the phrase, and obviously people suffer Ofsted, and she went suffer. Suffer, and I went. I had 9 wonderful experiences with Ofsted.
Yeah.
Honest, love, honest. It was wonderful.
I
What was it like for you?
so I liken it to, maybe this says more about me than anything else. I don't know, but I liken it to when I'm driving anywhere in my car quite happily and suddenly a police car passes me or pulls in behind me and follows me, and suddenly I feel I'm like a hunted criminal. I'm on the top 5 wanted list, and I am filled with as much guilt
Body in the boot.
as exactly as I might be if I was indeed on that list. And I'm quite a well-behaved person,
You
really.
really
There's
are.
no, there's no reason for the police to be interested in me at all. But I feel all the guilt, and
Yeah.
that's what I equate the Ofsted call to. Is it's that stomach sinking feeling. And it's because we care, right? It's because we
It's massive.
care. We know we work hard for our pupils. We want the school to do well. We believe in what the school is doing, but suddenly we have to prove that.
But it's also
And
reputationally,
yeah,
if you get an RI judgment, even or an inadequate judgment, you're
not
in.
that those names exist anymore.
No, they don't.
Hmm.
Do they? No.
Well,
Uh,
they're all new terms to get
they're
used
all
to,
new
people.
terms. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but
No,
it basically what comes out at the other end is a reputational damage for the school, and you
absolutely.
and you know then you're going to go into a cycle of people wanting to appeal entry to your school, your numbers drop, you become the place where transitory students are placed. Everything becomes that little bit harder, but also your self-esteem is bashed massively. So, but I think there are concentric circles to this, and we'll get on to what we're really talking about in a minute. But me and Anna, we need to express all of this anxiety that we've been storing. Um, we there's the outer circle. There's the wonderful bit here when you are out of the Ofsted window, when you've just had it, or you had it only about a year ago, and you're like, ha ha ha, we can just do our jobs. Then, Anna, the window. What is the window, Anna? Talk about the window.
What, just where you're walking on eggshells, and you know at any point this phone call
The
is going to
phone
happen,
rings.
and the klaxon's going to go out, and everyone's going to suck in their breath and not release it again for about 5 days. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the call comes. And then we don't obviously know as staff. When the head receives the call, and then the head calls everyone into a meeting. And it's when you're called into the meeting, you're just looking at each other going, I, yeah, here it comes. Anyway, so basically, Anna and I have got 20 years, my side, 17 years, Anna's side, of built up trauma at the word offset. which we had to talk about first before we could get to what we really wanted to talk about, which is how the framework has changed, as Anna just alluded to, how it's a report card now that over 5 areas, how basically within that the the parent voice has been heard because there was a lot of consultation before this new framework came out, and parents argued that their voice wasn't really taken that seriously. So Ofsted has done a lot and consulted with parent kind and consulted with parent friendly schools, and we were very successful in that consultation.
I,
Thank.
I,
I'm sure everyone is really grateful we were so successful in getting 21 references to parents in the framework, one of which crosses, well, two of which cross across the whole report card, but we'll get to that. So what we've done is we've come up with the 5 keystones that we've found with it that underpin what parent participation means within the Ofsted inspection, and we're just going to bat those about right now. So number one, Anna, I like
Safeguarding.
safeguarding, but do you know what I like about it is how it's framed.
Yeah.
It's framed. It could have been called parent complaints. It could have been called you have to make it you have to do better with parent complaints, or you have to jump like puppets every time a parent rings the school. But it's not that. It's how the school creates a culture where the parent can address their concerns and worries with the school, right?
It's about creating a supportive environment in
Mhm.
conjunction with parents, partnership with parents, as we talk about all the time, um, so that everyone is working towards a common goal, which is safeguarding and caring for children. Um, and that can only be a beautiful thing, right? Am I putting too positive a spin on it?
No, I think it's trust, which is at the heart of everything here.
Yeah.
And if you have an open culture and an open door, and it makes parents feel that it's super easy because you've shown them how, and you've given them a very clear direction of how to get their voice heard.
And
That
welcomed it.
trust, that openness delivers on trust, and it's trust that will deliver on all the other goodies that we want from our parents, which is that they get their child to school every day, that their child comes to school every day prepared because the parent cares enough to make sure. Do you see what I mean?
Hmm.
And parents will only invest that if they trust that what the effort that they're putting in and the trade-offs that they're making with their child in order to force that issue is worth that emotional effort.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think it's relatively fundamental. We've been doing some work on complaints. You've done more than me. Do you wanna?
Well, just on the how the framework of listening to and responding to complaints can be improved, and how we break complaints down into um, different areas. So actually, most complaints aren't complaints at all. They are feedback, or they are a concern rather than a complaint. They are a way of opening a door into a conversation in order to help and improve something because something's been noticed. Um,
So
and
loaded,
by
isn't it? The phrase complaint. Sorry to
Yeah,
whitewash it, but
no, no,
I just
no,
wanted to cut. I didn't want it to be a play on language and go, well, what's the difference between a complaint, a concern, and a query or a question? And
mm,
a lot, because if I say I'm coming to you with a complaint, I'm guessing immediate
instantly
response is to be
defensive.
defensive. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm being attacking. But if I've got a question, I'm coming with you with a question, then you're curious, you're engaged,
absolutely.
and it just
Yeah,
changes the prism, doesn't it?
absolutely. You say the word concern, and I instantly go, "Oh, how can I help?"
Yeah.
It's such a different framework for it. And when it's all rooted in this idea of safeguarding, which it should be, which
As the
makes
child's
perfect
central point.
sense, the
Yeah,
child at the center, then we know everyone's working towards that same common goal.
exactly.
Yeah.
And nothing will slip through the net. So
Mm-mm.
if I mean, we've worked in schools. We know there are certain parents that are hyper vigilant for their child, and God bless them, that's the most precious thing in their life. And of course, they can be hyper vigilant. But what it means is that they're always on the phone. But what that means is we don't know when one of those phone calls is actually something that we should react to in an instant. And there's a
Mm,
possibility of a cry wolf situation where you think, I can wait on that one. It's probably a coat that's lost in PE. Oh, I can do it in a couple of days. And it's not. It's actually the child has been really seriously bullied that day, and you've suddenly got a genuine safeguarding issue. Do you see what I mean? So I don't know what your whether you recognise that or not.
um, I think everyone's just got to start from a listening perspective and
Which
just
is
be open to listening.
So you did the L of Claire,
I
didn't we?
did.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see what you did there. You moved us on because we've got this acronym of CLEAR that I think is powerful because schools work in acronyms, but also because it takes you through a journey. So what we did first was we categorized what it is we're actually receiving, and same for parents. What am I actually delivering? Do I really need to complain at this point, or do I just need to ask a question?
Mm.
And then listening. Go, Anna. Talk about listening.
Yeah, so listening's about being open to whatever they're saying, letting them talk, not instantly being on the defensive and jumping in to justify things, but letting them express um, exactly what they need to say without interruption, giving all the active listening signals, um, being grateful that they've expressed a concern. I'm veering into the E now,
Empathy.
but you
Yeah.
crack on. Yeah, take us into empathy.
Empathy. The reason why we need to make a really big show of listening, and in some respects, even to the point where we go, can I just check what I've heard and repeat back to the person so they know they've been heard, is because often that's enough for most people.
Mm,
That somebody is heard, somebody is understood, somebody cares, and in so showing the most empathetic response, you will diffuse 95% of that emotional charge that that person is coming with. Even better if you authentically care. And I know almost all of my colleagues
mm,
would in that situation. It's very hard to show it when you're busy. It's very easy to appear terse and cold, but I do know that they care. It's just being
yeah,
explicit in that and saying phrases like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that's happened," or "If I was you, I would have felt exactly the same way," and "Oh my goodness, oh, I feel bad about that too. Do you know what I mean? We got to
yeah.
sort that out."
And empathy isn't always about agreeing with them necessarily. I do feel the need to point that out.
Mm.
It's understanding, showing an understanding of how they feel and being willing to work with them
Yes.
on improving that.
I can
Um,
see how you might have felt that way
exactly right. Yeah.
from a
It
distance, and it's very difficult
exactly.
when you're far away to know how it's all played out.
Yeah, I didn't want it to come across that, it's always about agreeing with
Uh,
them. Um, and that kind of moves us into the A.
The ask. Now, asking is about giving alternatives. So, we're natural solvers as teachers, aren't we? We're getting
Mm.
deep into this one. We might not get to the other keystones. We might have to do it
No,
this time,
we'll do more.
but we'll do more. We'll do multiples on this because it's really important. But ask is like offer one or two altern off sorry, not one alternative because that's not asking, that's just telling, but offering a couple of alternatives. And sometimes we know we do this, we do it with kids where we give two alternatives where there's blatantly one that you want them to choose, but in the act of choosing you give that person power, and all that person wants in that situation is goddamn power. Empower me to make me feel like I'm part of this conversation. So if someone's coming to you with a complaint that one of the team hasn't done X or Y, you can say, well, what we can do is Mr. So and so or Mrs. So and so can do X, or they can do Y in response to this, which would work for you, and then allow them to come at you, and then they'll feel like they have helped you come to the decision.
Yeah, and within that ask, it's saying, will that resolve
Yeah,
the issue? It's not just about which option do you want, it's have I understood this correctly? It's have of these potential resolutions, how, which one, and do you feel confident that will,
Exactly.
um, appease your concern or question? Yeah.
Because because again, asking, will this resolve it? Um, Not in that blunt term, but giving
No.
them that framing allows them to feel a sense of conclusion as well, but not without the R, which
Mm.
is the bit where you actually do what you've promised and you close the feedback loop, which is you do what you promise and then you let the person know that you've done what you've promised, the respond part. Because without that, you have let that person down and
Mm.
and you've broken the trust, and then this model won't work the next time because they'll come to you cynical.
Yeah.
So it's about delivering on the content of that conversation in the way that the conversation was agreed at the ask stage. It be
That
sorted.
creates the contract, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
The complainant, for want of a better word, the concernant, the person with the query,
Yes.
uh, agrees that they think this is the right way to act. You agree you're going to do it. There's that contract between you that everyone's happy with that option, and then you complete it to tie up that contract and sign it off. Yeah.
I'm sorry for smiling. Everything you said was absolutely spot on. I just turned querient into
Yeah.
a word, and I was congratulating you in my head for filtering, but it was so funny in my head that I smiled
We
throughout
both used
that.
to be English teachers. You'd never
We
know.
did. I know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call anyone that comes with a query a queriant, though. Just saying.
Okay.
I don't think it will go down well. I'm not an expert.
How much time
No,
have we got? What do we want to do? Do we want to
right.
move into?
I'm gonna tempt them with the other keystones, Anna, and then
Okay.
we'll come back next week. You up for that?
Yeah, yeah, bring it on.
Right. So the keystone two is co-designing inclusion. Oh, now it's already law for those with an ECPA, EHP.
EHCP, you're welcome.
Thanks, thanks. It's already law that there has to be an annual session where parents meet with staff to co-design the support. But I think there is a suggestion that has to broaden across lots of families.
Mm.
And Keystone 3, you ready for this? Family-centered attendance and behaviour. Meaty. Now, what that is about the tone you set when you're chasing. Why did I do that? Why? What were my fingers doing?
I mean, I,
Chasing
I,
families.
yeah, I want to tease them that there are so many positive stories we've heard about how to do this better that we
Oh
can
my
share
God.
with you.
We'll do that
So
next time.
please come and join us for
But
that next
yeah.
discussion.
Keystone 4 is the role of leadership. And I'm just going to say 37 points difference in our accreditation if you have strong leadership. But we'll come
Strong
back.
leadership in parent participation. Yeah.
Yeah. Just strong leadership. And then the importance of parent voice across all of this.
Yeah.
How do you get your parent voice? How do you show consistent parent voice? Two-way communication, baby. Two-way communication. So that's our five keystones. We talked about one. We just waffle. We
I
got
like
carried
talking.
away.
That's
We got
okay.
carried away.
I think it just shows we're passionate about what has inspired um, you know, the word parent to appear so much in the new
Yeah.
framework,
And
and how we see it resonating and how we can see it being really useful and actually empowering for schools to take some of these new ideas on board and run with them for the betterment of not just their settings, but obviously the pupils within them. It's a passion.
because because it's 4 months additional academic progress for kids.
Mm.
That's why Ofsted care. And I know we joked at the beginning the Voldemort of Harry Potter, but they are pursuing this because the outcomes for the young people are so potentially great
Yeah.
if we get it right. So, and that's we all feel like we're sometimes fighting against each other, but that's what we're all here for. So
Mm.
that is why we're excited, and that is why we all shall talk more about our keystones of parent participation next week. For now, though, Anna,
For now,
we're
we're going to
gonna
say
go
goodbye.
bye. We're gonna go bye, and you know what you gotta do,
I
right?
do. She's
And you
reminded me to
do?
press the button.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.